Andrew Tate has been one of the most talked about men on the planet. But is his advice good? Does the past affect them? And most importantly, is the Matrix real?
The Matrix is everywhere.
All and more in today's video. So Andrew Tate is a previous kickboxer. It's not really clear when he became famous, but around the time when he challenged Jake Paul, I feel like that is like the time when he started becoming famous, because it's also the time before the pandemic was gonna start. And then when the pandemic started, that's when he massively increased in popularity. That's when I started to notice him. Today, I don't really want to talk about his controversies or what he has been doing now. I just want to talk about some of the things that he has said that will really benefit you, things that you can learn. But I do want to talk about one controversial topic, and that is the Matrix. When I first learned about Andrew Tate and I heard about the Matrix, I was like, this guy's crazy. So pretty much the Matrix is like the government, or like hire $1 million companies that don't care about their workers, people who control the system, people who keep people quiet. This would be pretty much like the same people who canceled Andrew Tate, and also the people who canceled Far From the Weak, people who don't really want the spread of masculinity. It's the people who want you to stay at a 5 to 9. It makes sense why they would do this, because obviously they want more workers. They want people to stay the way they are, and if they realize that they could be more, that they could make more money, or like they see that the system is what causes them mental health, if they see that, they're probably gonna go against it. So it kind of makes sense why most companies would try to shut that down. I'm not really here to convince you on this opinion. I myself am not really 100% convinced on it, but I do want you to keep it in mind, because it kind of makes sense. Over time, you have seen companies replace workers, either through AI or just straight up automating systems. The best example of this would be with McDonald's, where you don't really have to go up to the cashier to make your order. You could just, there's like a screen where you can order whatever you want. More people are getting replaced. It's also one of the reasons why most of my generation has a side hustle, because there's not really a job that people really like. It's not as appealing anymore, because you know that you could eventually get replaced. So I just want you to keep that in mind. Just something to think about, just to see if it is one of the causes to why you have poor mental health. Another reason why you could have poor mental health is through the feminization of men. We have seen it everywhere nowadays. The nerd gets the girl. The jock is the bad guy. Men are okay to share their emotions. It is okay to cry. I'm not saying these are bad things, but it does increase the feminization of men. And this relates back to the Matrix. If these bigger companies can keep men weak, then they'll stay working for their companies. But once again, this decreases the mental health of men. The feminization of men has increased loneliness dramatically. Because if you think about it, back in the day, there was no fear when it came to speaking to a woman. You could just talk to a regular woman without worrying about being recorded, getting pepper sprayed, or being made fun of. But now, we have these fears. Men are scared of women nowadays. This has led to the loneliness of both men and women, because women can't find strong masculine men, so they have to become more masculine, and then men are too afraid to find a woman, and whenever they do find a woman, they get too comfortable and they lean in to their feminine side. This is something that Andrew Tate is trying to go against. His literal nickname is the leader of toxic masculinity. He's trying to increase masculinity, and this has led to a lot of YouTubers uprising to do the same. It's only a matter if they do it in a healthy way. I would say that Andrew Tate has really not been handling this issue the correct way. I feel like his approach is too direct. Anybody can misinterpret it and attack him from different viewpoints, even though his opinions are correct. It's just a matter of framing. So this is why I believe he should improve in this aspect, but it still doesn't regard not listening to him. These are the examples and advice from him that I want you to take with you. First, be adaptable. Andrew Tate gave the best example of this when it came to COVID. Literally, he's one of the few people who, when the world was going to shit, he benefited from it. He said, okay, the world is going to shit. What is the best move on the chessboard? How can I benefit from all this? And I feel like you should look at every situation the same way. I'm saying like situations that are in your control. Like for example, like if you see on the news that somebody got robbed, there's not really anything you can do about it. It's really important to adapt to your own situations. See what you can have, see what you can improve, and always plan ahead. This kind of relates to the second thing that I want you to think about, and that is to take everything as a learning lesson. I feel like as a man, you should always blame yourself for everything. Even if it's something that you didn't do, you should always blame yourself, because that way you'll always learn from it. Everybody should always seek out information, and being held back by your emotions, by the fact that it wasn't your fault, is is really something that a pussy might say, because you should always strive to be a better person. And taking everything at face value and seeing everything as something that you did will help you learn how to avoid it next time. Now, you should always be planning to the future. And something else that you should think about is saving and investing. Most importantly, you should start thinking about investing, because if you save, that money is just gonna stay there. It's not really gonna go up and down. As a matter of fact, actually, it's probably gonna go down due to inflation. So you should always try to invest. Specifically, you should always try to invest in your company. If you are an ambitious man, that means that you want to be an entrepreneur, meaning that you want to make your own company. And every time you reinvest on it, you're not really gonna get that money back right away, but it'll be worth it, because once your company has moved on and it grows traction, your money is going to skyrocket from all you have invested in it. So that's to grow as a business. I recommend one of the strategies that you should use in order to grow your business is to build online courses, or build like a product that you can sell online. This would be ideal if you already have an audience, and I feel like being an influencer is one of the best ways to make money nowadays. But like, you don't really have to be an influencer as long as you can build your audience somehow. Like, for example, Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate has said himself that he's not an influencer, but yet he has a massive amount of followers that would buy his product. If you could do the same thing, you'll massively increase your income. Now, what's the point of building all this, building this entire business that you have, if you don't really have the right mindset? You have to say to yourself that you can't do this. Most of the people who are rich decided to be rich. It's kind of incredible how most people don't really think big. Andrew Tate woke up and decided, I want to change people's lives. I want to make money. I want to provide. The guy who has the mindset of being weak is going to be weak. The guy who has the mindset of, I want to be normal, stays normal. If you want to be rich, you have to cultivate this mind that you are the alpha male. You can achieve these things, that you can achieve success. And one of the ways that you can build a stronger mind is through incorporating better habits, but also by improving your diet. Now, the way that Andrew Tate eats is something that I wouldn't really recommend to everybody. So he does intermediate fasting, meaning that he only eats one time a day. I don't really recommend this for most people, because not most people are gonna have the willpower to do this, and it's kind of hard to fast whenever you're trying to do computer work. And since Andrew Tate is like mostly doing physical activities, or like, I mean, I'm not too sure if he does computer work a lot, but he's always active. But it kind of makes sense why he would do this, because whenever you do eat food, your body takes energy to digest it. So it kind of makes sense why whenever you do eat, it'll make you more sleepy and more tired. So I do see benefits from it. I myself have tried it and I have seen benefits from it. I recommend it, just not to everybody. The last thing that I want you to take with you is to implement these masculine values. Being more masculine, as I said, is the number one thing that Andrew Tate promotes. Just think about masculine features: being strong, being a leader, being disciplined. These are the type of features that you should strive for, because the more you implement these features, the more success you will see. So that's gonna be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, or if you like my channel. Always remember to live your life like there's no tomorrow.